Let's talk about the film Sorry Baby, which is the directorial debut of Eva Victor. This is also written by Eva Victor and stars Eva Victor. I got the opportunity to watch this movie last week. It's opening up in a lot of places this weekend. It's already open in some places around the nation, so if you want to go check this out, check it out if it's playing near you. Really one of those movies that I think is one that will be remembered for a while now as one of the strongest directorial debuts I've seen in a long time. So let's get into this review, my thoughts on it. Check out our videos already on the other A24 films like Eddington. We have an ending explained as well as a review for it. Check that out if you want. So Sorry Baby stars Eva Victor as Agnes. You also have Naomi Ackie, Lucas Hedges, John Carroll Lynch in this movie, and this is a movie that I had been hearing so much about since Sundance. I was supposed to see it at Sundance, but of course didn't make it out to Sundance. It's a whole other story right there, but finally got to see this almost 5 months after, and I will tell you, this movie lives up to the hype. The movie basically follows Agnes, who has gone through something horrible, and Agnes doesn't seem to know how to deal with it, but at the same time is also trying not to or to bother others with it. The world keeps spinning and people keep living their lives, but Agnes doesn't know exactly where they fit in all of that. And that's basically what the movie is. It's a slice of life type film. The movie is comedic, it is dark, and it's also hopeful, I feel. I think that the performances from Naomi Ackie and Lucas Hedges, who are the inner circle for Agnes throughout all of this, really are great, because these are people who are trying to be there for Agnes, but at the same time they're also trying to live their life. And it's a tricky situation when you have somebody who's gone through something as Agnes has, and you're trying to be there for them, and Agnes knows that, but Agnes also realizes that these people are also dealing with their own things, and Agnes feels maybe a sort of burden that they are putting onto them. And it's very well presented throughout the film in Sorry Baby. It's complicated, it is honest, it's vulnerable, and you see this really in such a way that I think only Eva Victor would be able to bring it onto the screen. It's just something that is so hard to talk about or to really represent in a way for it to come out as genuine as it does here. And I think Eva Victor does a good job at representing this. As a director, I think Eva Victor has some amazing shots throughout the film. There is a oneer that is done and also a static shot that I just keep thinking about still, because I think it really showcases that event that completely changes the trajectory for Agnes in a way that I haven't seen be done in a film or any of that. There's something with not doing a lot that makes it that much more impactful. And I'm not trying to criticize how somebody represents something on the screen and all of that. I think everybody is entitled to do it in a way that they feel fit, but I think that Eva Victor did it in such a way I hadn't ever seen, and it really is that much more of an impact when you think about the film after you sat with it for a bit. I think as a writer as well, they do a great job at sort of inserting some comedic moments throughout this film that is very dark and honestly very heartbreaking to watch. But those comedic bits that are sort of injected throughout the film in a way that's not too overindulgent really add more layer to the movie and make it feel that much more hard-hitting, especially with the final scene in this movie, which I think is just one of the most heartbreaking scenes all year. I definitely do think Eva Victor did an amazing job at closing out the film with that scene. Once you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about, and we can discuss it a little bit more if y'all want. But I think Eva Victor really has such a way to tell a story. The story isn't necessarily told chronological, and it fits more into what I would call fragment storytelling, where you have these little pieces of the whole picture that sort of get thrown in there, and you start to put it all together and realize why certain characters acted the way they did in certain scenes that came before and after and all of them. And it's just more of an amalgamation of memories of sorts, I feel, of this character sort of trying to deal with and sort of move forward, because that is what Agnes ultimately is doing in this film, finding the way to put the next foot forward and keep going, because that's all you can really do. And Agnes realizes this, that there is so much happening, things keep moving, trying to figure out if it's okay to move forward now, and also maybe it's just okay to sit with this still and try to process this. But how do you process it when the world keeps spinning and everybody around you is still doing what they're doing. People are talking about the future. People are talking about moving, new jobs, maybe marriage, all of this. But Agnes still is trying to figure out why that even happened to her in the first place, this horrible thing. And I think it's just such a beautiful way to tell this story. Really honest, really vulnerable. It doesn't try to do too much or any of that, which, as I always say, it's okay, whatever an artist wants to do with their work. But I really do love the subtlety that Eva Victor has throughout the whole film. But at its core, when you really let the film sit with you and you think about it way after you've witnessed it, you really start to realize just how honest it really was and heartbreaking at the end of the day. So overall, I thought it was a great film. I think that Eva Victor is a talented director, a very talented writer, and a great actor. So I'm excited to see what comes next from them in the future. Really, truly one of my favorite debuts I've seen in a long time, and definitely excited. A24 has been releasing some pretty great films this year. They were actually able to pick this one up for distribution at Sundance after a bidding war, and I definitely see why there was a bidding war for this movie. Really great stuff. Very excited to see more in the future, but let me know what you think about Sorry Baby, if you've watched it or not. Really excited to hear what everybody thinks about this movie. Like I said, A24 has been on a roll. We just talked about Eddington as well. Check out our review for that, which we also really enjoyed, and also just did an Ending Explain, talking more about the themes and everything about it. And if you hated that movie, really would love you to go over there and just tell me why you hated it. I'm always interested in hearing what people think about certain films, especially when I really like them or really hate them and somebody has a very differing opinion. Always some great insight into all of that. But as always, I'll see all of you next time. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. We're on the road to 50,000 subscribers. We're about 8,000 away from that, or close to 8,000. So super excited to get to that. That's our summer goal, and we got about a month to go. Can we do it? Maybe. We'll see. As always, stay safe, stay positive.